Against violence may be forced to close the doors before we finish 2023.
Brett Brooks was at today's press conference and joins us live in the studio. And Brett, just how much money would Pcav need to stay afloat?
Amber and Tyler, you're looking at about $100,000 for the nonprofit to sustain itself for the rest of this year. And if they don't get it, the CEO says Pcav will probably end its services come December 1st.
Today I have called you here to call you and the citizens of Peoria to action. Pcav won't sustain past November 30th without you.
Annually, Pcav spends about $340,000, majority of the funding coming from grants and third-party sponsors. But the CEO, Becky Rossman, says their grants are drying up.
It was a perfect storm of external factors that led us here. The federal funding that supports Pcav and anti-gun violence initiatives will discontinue nationwide on December 1st, even though gun violence is at an all-time high.
According to Pcav, the nonprofit spent $89,000 for families of gun violence. They provided hotels, transportation, food, clothing, and relocation services. Kelly Bonner, whose son Caden Lee Bonner was killed at just 20 years old, understands firsthand the role that Pcav played in her recovery.
Death is natural, but to lose someone tragically is very unnatural. These people are people who are there in the middle of the night. I believe they are there out of kind, of care, of concern.
Pcav worked with 526 family members directly affected by gun violence in just 2022. Rossman says they do not have the funding to continue operating at this current level.
We've had 20 community members shot since July 1st. We need you now more than ever.
You never know how strong you aren't till it happens. And Pcav comes in.
Rossman and her staff are still debating about holding their annual gala to raise the additional money. However, she's concerned they still might not raise enough needed to close that gap, and if they do not reach $100,000 again by November 30th, they may close its doors. Amber, Tyler.